I'd like to call the December 11th meeting of the Village Board to order. And I would like to ask Reverend James Hunt to come forward from New Hope Christian Community Church for our invocation.
Good evening, Your Honor. Good evening, Council. Good evening, audience. Let us bow and pray. Wonderful God, it is in this divine season of good news and glad tidings that we joyfully celebrate Christmas, and we give thanks for every good and perfect gift that comes from above. We humbly ask you for the blessing of your presence at this meeting and a fresh anointing of wisdom and discernment of our village and its appointed representatives. Now, O God, in the course of this agenda, encourage this body to pursue goodwill and justice toward all. Instill in this council a commitment to be compassionate and considerate toward one another in the decision-making process for the sake of community. Let it be said at the end of this meeting that you may say of us, well done, our good and faithful servants. Finally, O Lord, help us not just this season, but for all seasons to come, to enjoy an enduring peace that looks at the world and says with love and joy, peace, my brother, peace, my sister, peace, my soul. And so it is in the precious, the mighty, and magnificent name of Jesus we declare it all. And everyone said together, amen. 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 Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. Could we all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Present.
Trustee Wilson?
Present.
Trustee Udris?
Present.
Okay, we'll go to open to the public. Agenda items only. If you have anything you wish to say about the agenda, please step forward. Okay, we'll go to the consent agenda, which consists of the minutes from a regular board meeting of 11/13, yeah. Minutes of the Committee of the Whole, 11/19. Payroll ending 11/09 and payroll ending 11/23. Bills. That's what will be on the consent agenda. Could I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, please?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on the consent agenda? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to the clerk's report. Tanisha?
Thank you, Mayor Pop. I have just a couple of things. One, I need to have a motion to change the duplicated ordinance, so we'll be amending the ordinance number from 1935 to 1937, and that was the Gulf Vista one that was passed at the last meeting. So I just need to have a motion for that, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
And once again, that's changing to 1937. Second, I wanted to just give a heads up. I did receive my confirmation from the Institute of Municipal Clerks and the Eastern Illinois University from the paper assignment I had to complete from the Illinois Municipal Clerks. So I did officially receive my additional 40 credit hours for when I went to Springfield. Third, I know it's not on the agenda, so I have to mention it now, so it will be placed on the next agenda. In me going through a lot of our records and boxes over at the Park Building so that we can get everything caught up to this century, I have found a lot of tapes dating back from 1978 to 1982, 1990 to 91, and that's from village board meetings, P&Z, the whole nine. And so I would need to have on the next agenda to be able to destroy those. And they're not executive session. These are just regular minutes.
Okay.
End of report.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is there a timeline when you're supposed to get rid of those? Do they have a shelf life?
Well, those, they were actually, just like how we have recordings now, they go online, these were just audio. And so
Oh.
those are to be discarded by the next board meeting, once they're passed.
Oh, wow.
So these have been there since before I was born.
Thank you.
I did have a question as
Yes.
well. Do you know if this is something that the Historical Society would want, at least maybe a representative of some of these meetings?
You guys are more than welcome to check into it. Those, like I said, they're not executive session, they're just regular board meetings.
Well, they may be interested, I don't know. They may be interested.
That's a good idea.
Well, we can check into that first.
So are those the just recordings, though? They're not like the handwritten minutes or anything
No,
that they?
no, those are permanent record, but these are just the audio.
Okay.
End of report.
Thank you, Denisha. On my report, I have, if you look at the agenda, it's a recognition of Cockles Towing. I don't see Larry here. Businessmen are like that. They're busy. So we'll just delay that till another meeting. So with that in mind, we'll move on to the administrator's report. David?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Board. I have 3 items before you this evening. Item number H1 has to do with a TIF reimbursement request for Milco Atwater LLC. That is the Dollar General. And the village is in receipt of a copy of a letter, which there is a copy on file for any reviews, from attorneys Dubin Singer representing Milco Atwater LLC, requesting a TIF reimbursement for the Dollar General project. The requested amount of the reimbursement is $34,967.87. The staff has processed the request and found the 2018 property taxes payable in 2019 have in fact been paid in full, and the reimbursement amount to be in accordance with the redevelopment agreement. The development is located in what is known as TIF number 5 now. So the action requested this evening is a motion to authorize the TIF reimbursement payment in the amount of $34,967.87 to Milco Atwater LLC for tax year 2018 payable in 2019.
Could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Item H2 is also a TIF reimbursement request from AP Ridgeland Avenue LLC. The village did receive a letter, of which there is a copy on file, from AP Ridgeland Avenue LLC requesting a TIF reimbursement for the project located at 25850 South Ridgeland Avenue. The TIF reimbursement amount requested is $740,531.92. Staff has processed this request and found that the 2018 property taxes payable in 2019 have been paid in full, and that the reimbursement amount requested is in accordance with the redevelopment agreement. This development is located in TIF number 3, and the motion before you, or requested this evening rather, is to authorize TIF reimbursement payment in the amount of $740,531.92 to AP Ridgeland Avenue LLC, care of DW Management Company LLC, for the tax years 2018 payable in 2019.
I'll make
Good.
that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Thank you. And the last item is the final TIF reimbursement request for this meeting, received from BC Development LLC, of which we have a copy of that letter on file for review. And it is a TIF reimbursement for the project located in the 6300 block of West Emerald Parkway. That's on South Ridgeland Avenue. The requested amount of the reimbursement, $113,117.28. And the staff, again, has processed that and found everything to be compliant with the redevelopment agreement, and that the 2018 taxes have been paid in full in 2019. This, too, is a TIF number 3 redevelopment project. And the action requested this evening is a motion to authorize a TIF reimbursement payment in the amount of $113,117.28 to BC Development for tax year 2018 payable in 2019.
Could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, that concludes my report for this evening.
Okay, I just wanted to mention to the public, I always like to keep you informed a little bit. Obviously, the TIFs are very important to us, and all of them are fairly healthy. Now, if you hear the amounts we paid out, that doesn't mean the TIF is dry. We're there with TIF money for other businesses that may want to come in, so we're being very diligent about that. Okay, we'll move on to the...
Mr. Mayor, I just have a question
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
administrator. Do we as a village have an obligation to do anything to prepare the village for the census next year, or is that on us, or?
Yes, the municipality is partnering with Will County, and we've already been receiving a donation, as the clerk has reported on that a couple of times already. Just today, I received an email that is asking for some boundary verifications, so the process is starting to ramp up as we speak, but we will be partnering with the entire process with Will County.
Awesome, thank you.
You bet.
Is that Larry? Okay, before we start the officials report, I noticed that Larry, I almost said Lawrence, Larry, and you told me your name is Larry, not Lawrence, is here, and I would like to make a presentation, and Larry, I want you to say a few words about your company, your years here and all that. As I give you this, I will then allow you to please tell everyone, because I can't remember all the details. But I'll say one thing. Their business has been here for 60 years or more.
Wow.
And this is why we're giving him this presentation. I believe he's the oldest company in the community. Larry, thank you.
A Lifetime Achievement Award then.
Well,
Larry, this is for you.
I'm a lifer in this village. Born in the village, and I've been here 70 years. Only time I was gone was Uncle Sam wanted me more than anybody.
Well, you're also our former mayor. So there you
Yeah,
go.
mayor for 8 years.
She would like to take a quick picture of you and I. See if-
Okay.
I know, I'll break the camera. I hope you're all right.
We start as a family business, and we're still a family business. Only our numbers are getting smaller. We've started at 6, and we're down to 2. That happens over the years. But we've been a Monee business. We started in November 30th, 1959. And we branched out about 8 years ago. We do have another branch in Rockdale, Illinois. So my son runs that, and well, we run everything together, you know. So we've done things for the village over the years, and my father started it, and it was, if the village needs a tow truck, we don't charge them. So for 60 years, we have never charged the village for a tow. And I can remember we had one maintenance man that kind of liked a little cocktail while he was working, and we pulled him out 7 times in one night with the snowplow. I think finally somebody kicked him out of the truck and started plowing it. That's many years ago, but we've always enjoyed the village, and we've seen many changes over the years. And I sat where Mayor Pop is for 8 years, and of course not in these surroundings. We had just a smaller thing, but it worked. And so I appreciate the village recognizing our business, and we'll continue to be here for I don't know how long. So I thank everybody.
Thank you.
Larry, I'd just like to say one thing. As mayor, I did not ask for this, but I had my son's car and it broke down. And what happened, the radiator hose come off. I'll be very quick with this. So I actually put it back on. Well, the doggone thing came off again. And it wasn't a Mitsubishi, Jim. But anyway, when Larry found out it was me, I got a break on the price. So I got a kickback. Oh, my God. And I'll say that right on the screen. No, I appreciated that. I didn't ask for it, but you recognized the name, and thank you very much, Larry. That's what you've done for the village, too.
And Larry, I just want to do a reminiscence too, because I remember I can't believe it's been 20 years, your 50th birthday celebration. I think you were mayor at the time. That was over at the old senior center. It was a big crowd for that event. And I believe Marilyn Monroe sang happy birthday to you that night.
I still have a picture of it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Larry, but before you leave, Larry, just a question. Could you give us an idea of your service area? I know it's big.
Well, we go I-55 all the way out to like Seneca, and we go south on 55 past the White, and we go all the state highways on this side, Route 1, Governor's Highway, 57, we do all those. That's for all heavy duty. We do most of the light duty in this area. And we have trucks go to Pennsylvania or anywhere our companies, with our companies, they'll have a tractor break down and they have a load that's got to get going. So we take one that runs out there and bring the dead one back.
Wow.
We do a lot of that.
Wow, that's amazing.
And we tow many garbage trucks every month.
Thank you so much, Larry. Let's give him another hand. Okay, we'll move on to the officials' report. Public Works, Trustee Horn.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, trustees and village officials and members of the public. So with the Public Works, many of the construction projects that we are involved with have wound down for the year because of the cold weather. So not a lot of that going on. Things are in place to start up in the spring. But the other thing that I noticed that this morning, it was probably about 6:30, I looked out the window and it was starting to snow. And I think it took everyone by surprise because I don't believe that was predicted in the weather reports. But wouldn't you know that our trucks were out there at least by 6:30, by latest 6:45. I saw one of our Public Works plows go by my home. So kudos to them, and they always do a great job during the winter, and they will continue doing that. End of report.
Thank you, Trustee Horn. We'll move on to Parks and Recs, Trustee Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Our last senior luncheon is this Friday, December 13th. Come out and join us. All seniors welcome, $4 per senior. Be expecting our village newsletter coming out just after Christmas, so be expecting that in the mail. I know it's hard to think about summer right now, but we're thinking about summer programs and what we would like to see, what residents would like to see what type of programs that would be implemented into Monee. So, or any program for that fact, whether it's summer-related or just a program that you would like to see that other villages may have, or that you may be interested in. You can either contact myself or Parks and Rec. Diana, be more than happy to accommodate you. End of report.
Thank you, Trustee Wilson. We move on to Finance, Trustee Blue.
Thank you, Mayor. Once again, we're very happy to announce that our village revenues are outperforming budget numbers, and that's placed the village in a very favorable position in meeting our future obligations. The administration is continuing to look at ways to operate and to meet the needs of the community within the fiscal year budget. Village expenses are slightly higher than expected. This is what I reported last month also. This is mainly due to larger expenditures purchased at the beginning of the fiscal year that won't occur again during the fiscal year, so it will amortize. As of November, the village has received 95% of the property taxes levied for the fiscal year. The village levy will need to be filed with the county clerk's office on or prior to December 17th, and I believe our attorney is going to address that a little later. Last but not least, the Finance Committee did meet to discuss the village levy, and we also met on a separate occasion to discuss the question of whether local fuel tax should be allocated to our road and bridge fund. And in fact, it was a unanimous decision at that time. At the last board meeting, we did make a motion to recommend that all of the local fuel tax be allocated to the road and bridge fund. And so what I'd like to do today is offer a motion for the same to read. Do we need another ordinance for that? No. So really a motion to instruct our administration to allocate local fuel tax to our road and bridge fund.
I'll second that.
This is on the agenda.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, if you don't mind, we'll wait until it's right here on attorney's report, if I'm not mistaken. Is it not? Oh, that's,
No,
I'm
that's the
sorry, that's
levy.
May's.
Yeah, that's the levy.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
yep, that's the levy.
That's all right. It is on the agenda, though. You're quite
Good
right.
girl, Janet.
Yeah, that's okay. No problem. So we have a motion.
Yeah, we need a motion on that.
Yeah, we have a
Second? Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn? Yes. Trustee Razak?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
End of report, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, we'll move on to economic development. Trustee Razak? Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, if I could the record reflect that that will start with the December collection of local motor fuel tax?
Thank you, David. Anthony?
I got one thing from Kevin tonight. The Select Chicago Foreign Direct Investment Tour was very successful. Staff from Consulates General of China, Ecuador, Greece, and Lithuania attended and were very pleased with what they saw. Whiting Corporation was a great host, and the group even stopped by Village Hall for a presentation by Prairie State College. And we look forward to even greater participation from them in 2020. End of report.
Thank you, Anthony. Move on to building services. Trustee Udris.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First off, from the Monee Chamber of Commerce, they had their last meeting of the year / Christmas party last week. Some things coming out of that. Their website should be up and operational very soon. We got to see kind of a prototype of it, and it's going to be a very nice website. I think one of the key features to it is they're working on a way to highlight all the local businesses through there, so it will be a place that somebody looking to do business in Monee will have one place to go to be able to see the different businesses in town. They've got lots of things planned for next year, lots of things that they want to do to get more involved with the community, but they need more people. So business owners, if you're not involved, I'm making a personal plea to please come out and help the Chamber of Commerce. They've got some great ideas, and I'd love to see them be able to get carried out. From the Building Services Department,
The Building Services Department has received several calls and concerns regarding individuals claiming to be working with ComEd and that their homes were being chosen by ComEd to get solar panels. ComEd does not make any such claims. This is a scam. I can personally say they came to my house and I had a very long discussion with them. They were wearing a badge around their neck to try to make it look like they were licensed to be in the village. They even went as far as to say that they had full support of the village board and of the Building Services Department, to which I then finally told them that I was a trustee, and they moved on fairly quickly after that. But please be advised that all the peddlers and vendors and transient merchants are required to register with the village. And we do obtain a business license, and when they also need to provide a photo ID to the village prior to conducting any door-to-door business out there. If at any point somebody comes to your door, you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call the Village Hall. Building Services Department number is 708-534-8303. At the same time, if it's after hours on the weekend, I'm sure that you could call the non-emergency number for the police department, and they would be glad to assist you as well. We just don't want anybody taken advantage of in this town. The month of November, Building Services issued 39 building permits for a permit value for the month of November of $579,813. 3 homes went on the market and are scheduled for resale inspections. And the Building Services Department would just like to remind all business owners again that the business license renewal and inspections are due by December 31st. So please call the Building Services Department if you haven't already to get those scheduled. And on behalf of the Building Services Department, we'd just like to wish all the residents, business owners, and travelers through our village a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. End of report.
Very good, Scott. We'll move on to Public Safety, Trustee Gonzalez.
Okay, a few things, Mr. Mayor, and to kind of piggyback on what Scott was just saying too, I just spoke to Sergeant Lazzaroni, and he also said, if you do have some scammers coming to your door, the officers are more than willing to escort them out of the village of Monee too, if they do not have a permit. And in that same vein too, the PD has also seen an alarming increase in traffic crashes along Monee Manhattan corridor, especially with Amazon at their full Christmas swing and the influx of other businesses right in the very area. Residents, I would suggest alternate routes in the morning and the evening during those shift changes. And even with the assistance of Will County Sheriff's deputies, we are still seeing those traffic crashes, and it's been separately noted they appear to be by distracted driving. So put down the gosh darn phones when you're driving. Secondly, wanted to thank you, anybody who came last Friday to the Parks Building to donate blood, our Season of Giving blood donation drive. It was smaller than usual, probably because we couldn't get a Saturday drive. But again, the holiday season is a hard time for blood drives to even get the sheer amount of blood needed for these traffic accidents or other patients that might need blood donation. If you're able to give, please make time all year long to please make those blood donations. And another couple things that I've noticed too, that in our immediate area, and you've probably seen it too, there's a rash of burglaries and armed robberies in our area. And I just remind you all, please be diligent when you're leaving town or when you're in parking lots or you're in stores. Be diligent, see something, say something, and please be aware of your surroundings. And Merry Christmas. And end of report.
Thank you, Heidi. We'll move on to the attorney's report. Larry?
Thank you, Your Honor. I got 2 items for the board's consideration. The first item, pursuant to the board's directive at the last meeting, draft an amendment to the redevelopment agreement with Mays Barbecue House, I believe it is. The pertinent provision of the agreement, Section 2, wherein the event the developer fails to complete the project by March 1st, 2020, developer agrees, stipulates, acknowledges that the redevelopment agreement shall be completely null and void. Furthermore, the village shall be under no obligation whatsoever to issue a notice of default as outlined in Section 10 of the RDA. Any right to cure defaults hereby waived by the developer. I sent this to Mr. Dillner, who represents the developer. From his perspective, it was fine. Have not heard back from the developer himself, but tonight, it's up for the board authorizing the mayor to execute on behalf of the village of Monee.
Well, we've discussed this numerous times. Could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
1938.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item, as we discussed tonight, is the ordinance for the levy. As indicated, we have to adopt this ordinance and file it with the county, I believe the last Tuesday of December, so that Daryl's always good about getting it filed. It's up for the board's review and consideration. This is drafted in accordance with the board's directive at the finance meeting, but we have to have it filed and on the books with the county by the last Tuesday of this month.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the motion?
So I wondered, Larry, very briefly, can you tell the people in the audience that might not know what the levy is concerned? Our levy increase this year is how much?
0%?
0%. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Thank you, Heidi, for that. If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
1939.
Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. With that said, we're going to move into executive session for one of our two items. This is for the discussion, and where is it?
We'd like to go in executive session prior to open.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're only going to discuss one of the two items that we have, the probable and imminent litigation. So I don't think it'll take us that long, but we're going to, I need a motion to move into executive session.
A second.
Second?
She seconded.
Okay. Roll call.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Okay, we should be back shortly. Like the motion to go back into open meeting?
I'll make that
A
motion.
second.
I don't think we need to discuss it. Roll call, please.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Present.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Well, we'll move to Mr. Ravel on old business. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
So I have one. Are you still considering Mr., the gentleman that was going to
No, we're
release
not.
from you?
No.
You're not?
No, no, we're not.
You would not have him as a, okay.
Just the way the whole dynamics
Mhm.
have evolved and everything that we've seen, and kind of what I've kind of noticed, it's just, it doesn't look like it's going to be a good fit, and we're going to move on.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
So, Mr. Ravel, if I could say, the village, you requested to be on the agenda. Really, we'd like to put the ball in your court and make your presentation. You understand where the village stands on the previous presentation that was made. You are here, based on your letter and your request to be here. So I think the board members are happy to hear what you're proposing, what you're looking for, things of that nature, and a better description from the property owner's point of view.
Well, as the property owner, I would like to have it be a valuable consideration for somebody. Okay, very simply, if somebody walks in there and says, look, I'd like to open up a restaurant, it would be advantageous for me to operate a restaurant with a liquor license, a gaming license. It would just make it more attractive in the long run. I mean, we understand it was an existing business before, they had the same opportunities. I think at this point, to make it attractive to somebody, and I'm willing to work with anybody out there. I mean, if I haven't had just a outpour of interest, to be quite honest with you. I mean, this gentleman that was with, that we spoke about last, we were with him last month, was about the only candidate that we had that we felt was qualified. But I think by having this, that we can use it as an attractive piece to bring somebody in that I feel would best suit the village. You know, it's interesting because I was just speaking with Larry Cockle. You know, it'll be 25 years that I've been here in May of 2020. And I got to say one thing about Larry. Your award is well-deserved. And the reason why is he gave me an opportunity that I don't think other municipalities would have. You know, I started this, and I don't want to bore you with all the details, but he gave me an opportunity 25 years ago, approximately. And I got to say, this is why I'm very passionate about Monee. Even with other ventures of mine and all the other things we have going on, I got to say, it all started here. And this is where I cut my teeth. And I want to say thank you very much for giving me that opportunity. So that's basically where I'm at and my vision about the place. Would I love to sell it? Sure. We would like to see somebody knock it down and put something up there that would really beautify that corner, of course. But we have to take baby steps. You know, and I feel by giving us the opportunity to try to entice somebody in here that would bring something that I think would everybody be happy with, that would be the ideal situation. But I just think it would really help. And being a business person, maybe I'm being a little selfish, I just know how difficult it is to start up a business, to get it ignited, the capital that's involved. And you've got a lot of competition. I mean, you've got Brian's down the street that does well. You've got LaBaz. You know, I know you have other saloons, or whatever you want to call them, bars and whatnot. But I just think that if having this opportunity, I think we could use it to our advantage to get somebody in here that I feel that would grow with the village. And knowing that the village is growing, I think we can use that to our advantage.
Oh, anybody else have any comments? If not, the tenure of the board in the room was that we're going to consider it. They're not ready to vote on it tonight. So that's how we'll have to leave it right now, Jim.
Okay.
We're not going to leave it hanging forever, okay?
Okay.
And if we come up with a time that we're going to make an announcement, you'll be notified,
Okay, very good.
okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we'll move on to new business. Is there any new business? Okay, open to the public, non-agenda items. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Okay, well, we'll make a motion to go back into executive session.
Second.
A second. A roll call, please.
Uh-oh, get that.
It's for
Trustee
employment
Gonzalez?
compensation of a specific individual, 51LCS 120/2, C1. Thank you.
Trustee Horn? Yes. Trustee Razak?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson? Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you all for coming.
Randy, where'd Daryl go?